Hi everyone, Wildlife Farming here. Today we're going to talk about how to replace your disc on a PH drill. It looks rather intimidating, but once you understand the process, which we're going to show today, it's really not that tough. The first step we're going to do is we're going to drop the press wheel assembly and arm assembly so we can get a socket on the disc. You've got a pin, you got your depth sitting pin on the bottom, you got a stop pin here on top. We have to pull the clip, and then we pull the pin, and then we can drop this assembly down. You have to have the machine raised up, but now we have full access to our nut to remove our disc. Okay, in this section, we're going to take the nuts off of the disc blades, the nuts holding the disc on. Just so you know, one side is a left-hand thread and one side is a right. Standing behind the machine, the disc on the left is your left-handed thread. The disc on the right is a right-handed thread. So I go the opposite direction, like I'm tightening the machine down. I loosen it up. One point I want to make is you're gonna need a 29mm socket for this process. Okay? And the left-hand threads will have an arrow designating it as a left-handed thread nut. You want to keep them separate when you get out, so when you replace them, you know which ones are left-handed nuts and which are right-handed nuts. Okay, probably the hardest part in this process of changing your disc out is getting it off the shaft. You're probably going to need some kind of pry bar or crowbar. I've loosened this one up, but you pry against it. Once you loosen it up, you can remove the disc. And usually once you remove one side, the other side comes off pretty easily. Okay, we're going to remove the disc, the hub from the disc. We have Allen-headed screws, which is a 6mm Allen wrench and a 17mm socket. We can just come in on these type of bolts, hold it. Two-piece hub, your bearings in the center. It's a good time to do an inspection on your bearings. If this bearing is rough or you can see any catches in it or your seals on the outsides are bubbled out, it's a great time to replace your bearing in that hub. Okay, now we're going to reattach our hub and bearing assembly to our disc. It's not very hard, but it needs to be done properly. I want to make a note that our disc on one side is flat and one side has a bevel, okay? The bevel's gonna go to the outside, the flat goes to the inside. When reassembling your hub, first thing you gotta do is you got your bearing. After you've inspected it, you can reinstall it. It's kind of self-aligning once we get the hubs in. If you needed a rubber mallet, if it's a little tight, you can tap it with a rubber mallet. So we take our plates and it goes over the top of the bearing. Oh, sorry. Pull the reverse plate on the other side. Back to just note, you want the plow bolt or the Allen-headed side on the flat side of the disc when reassembling. This section, we have taken our disc off, we've put new disc blades on our hubs, we've inspected our bearings, and now we're ready to reinstall our disc onto the drill. We'll first go, it's pretty simple, come up, goes on the shaft. Very, very important point here. The Allen heads go to the inside, and the flat side should be to the inside of the V, and the bevels on the outside. Important step to do. Regarding your nuts, one more time. Standing behind the machine, the left-hand side is a left-hand threaded nut. It has an arrow on it. The right side is a standard right-hand nut. and it does not have an indication aerial. So you want to keep your nuts separate for when you do it. But basically, once the machine's back together, you reinstall your nuts, tighten up your nuts, and you're ready to go plant. Yeah. Okay, we've retashed our disc. We got our flat sides on the inside, the bevels on the outside, our right and left hand nuts figured out. It's all been tightened up. Now it's time to put our assembly back together. Pull the press wheel assembly up. Insert our pin. Take our cotter key. Spread it back out. And our job is finished and we're ready to go plant. So our discs are back on. We've brought up one row unit reattached. We'll do the rest. I want to cover one point that's really, I think, important. Now that we've dropped the press wheel assemblies down, it's a really good time to just do some check on your planter. Your shackles are here. If you need to tighten shackles, check the status of your shackles, your chains, your springs, your rubber covers. It's just a good time to do an overall inspection of your drill while you've got it down like this. Also, make sure you check your press wheels, your bearings, everything's rolling, doing what you need. I hope this helps out and should make your process a little bit easier if you ever got to change disc blades. Thanks.